Meaning,
He kind of looks at Zolaire just like, have you been cursed any at all? Presumably after you got back. Because if I remember correctly, you were also one of the beings that was stuck inside of that prison with me. At the very least, I recognize your soul.
different place, but granted, same kind of motif.
But I would assume that after you got back here, like I did, and managed to get back to your unconventional way of rebirth, at some point something has cursed you. And kind of turns to you, Reed, and you seem to share it.
Excuse me? I mean, I feel fine.
Zolaire kind of looks at herself, just like, me too. It's
I'm
difficult
gonna
to
go
say.
ahead and I'm gonna look at Reen and I'm gonna say, question. Sanguine was the one that also helped, right?
He gave me the crystal, the dragon heart, but he promised me no ill intent. I don't think it was him.
No, they're both cursed by the same dragon.
Oh,
And so
really?
there's just like, well, I don't really remember any sort of curse. The
You
only
did say
oddity
so.
that's happened has been the fusion of magic I got to save these guys.
Yeah, she's not the type to curse someone. It was more of she offered power up in a moment to help Zalara save us. And yeah, I personally know her.
He
She's
kind of turns to you and just like, out of respect for her and her choices, I will choose to not use her name.
oh,
But this curse isn't placed by her.
I appreciate that. You know, I knew I always liked you. Okay.
She's in hiding for a reason, I'm sure. And she's always been secretive about giving her name out,
Well, let's just say she has
even to those that follow her.
yeah, she's got a big family that she's doesn't want caught in the crossfire.
I'm sure. But no, this magic isn't from her.
To my knowledge, there weren't supposed to be any. But where we got that where Solaire got that sufficiency of power, had connections to her, but I wasn't aware that there was supposed to be a dragon on that island.
Uh, 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 uh,
Huh?
uh, nothing to worry about.
Reen kind of looks at Riven, just like giving him like a look of, you have some fucking explaining to do.
You,
Turns back to our lovely friend. Go more into this curse.
Well, if she did receive a suffusion of power from, he kind of like glances over at Riven, mine and his mutual friend, apparently. Um, Something else may have tapped it, we'll say.
oh,
Oh, somebody tampered with magic.
Now, there's
Well,
not a lot of dragons that I know of that can do that. The only one that I know of is fairly certain that me and a few others had killed.
mm-hmm.
Mine and his mutual friend being one of them. But his name's probably been lost, but have any of you heard of Nelithral?
I think it's probably going to be a history check for me, isn't it?
Yep. History check
uh,
from everybody. Normal.
Well then.
I'm not a big history buff.
I was gonna say it's weird, but it like apt that Pepper would know.
Hmm.
Let's get a roll from Pyrite. Would he have found it? He's probably like the second oldest person here apparently. Nope. He also doesn't know. So, Riven, you have heard the tale from your mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
How she talked about a fight a long time ago with a being that they simply referred to in the Draconic tongue as Death. Another dragon who was attempting to ascend to godhood. She's and a few others had worked to kill him.
I thought he was dead, though.
Rain, you have in your time studying dragons, you have come across the name in a couple of places, but they all seem to mention that he is a dragon that was once a threat that has not been seen since, well, centuries.
spell out his name so I can write it down.
Nelithral.
Wow. I
He's
don't
in-
think I need to. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Put him at the top of my fucking shit list.
Oh, the unkind things to say notes just came out.
No.
Another name for the kill list. But Zen goes ahead and continues. Well, I say attempted to reach godhood. Technically, he did, and that was
You're
when we
perfectly
killed
fine,
him.
Vile. I hope you have a good sleep if you can sleep there, Vile.
Yep. Night night if you do.
So, we're working with a draconic deity of death,
Well,
essentially.
fallen deity.
Fallen deity. Okay, fallen deity of death. Well, I mean, at least that's killable.
I mean, if you want to be technical, God can be killed too. It's just
Really fucking hard and sometimes not permanent.
correct. But I can assure you that he has fallen. We did our best to scrub his name from history.
Hmm.
Could this
I
be
I
the
thought he
person
was
trying to bring him
dead
back?
and gone for good, though.
Well,
He,
we thought so too.
but you were trapped for so long, and my lady's been in seclusion for so long.
Maybe he left some echoing magics of some sort that maybe trying to bring him back?
Well, he did like to leave a lot of curses. Wouldn't
I think
surprise
that's
me if
evident.
somewhere along the way he did manage to leave behind something akin to phylactery of his own.
Oh, great. Yay. I love the idea of having to deal with a fallen god turn lich.
Zin,
Especially.
I need you to be. Zin, this takes incredible precedence. in both mine and Zalara's best interest, what does this curse entail? Do you need to
Well,
sit here and study it with us?
no, I'm familiar enough with his curses.
All right.
And this one he used, or he loved to use, on the younger dragons that were still growing. More or less, in order for you to grow, he says, kind of looking at Zalera, you would have to, well, more or less derive yourself to cannibalism, consume the hearts of other dragons.
Well, I can definitely say that she hasn't been peckish as of recently.
Well, in fairness, most dragons don't. Or, well, no, most dragons do need to eat pretty regularly.
I
But
mean,
you
we
said
feed
in order to grow.
In order to grow, yes. In order to sate appetite, no. It's not a unending hunger type thing.
Well, that's happy. That's nice to know, at least.
Kind of turns to you, Reen. Technically, the curse is affecting you too, for whatever reason.
Meaning what? I'm not a dragon.
No,
well, not
yeah,
yet.
yeah,
But
I
you were infused
mean-
with the dragon's heart, weren't you?
Mhm.
Well, I was suffused
Curse
with
magic.
draconic crystallization heart of energy. That was long before I even met Zalera.
Maybe
But
that energy was also cursed then.
I was
No.
going to say,
Hmm.
oh,
You. How long have you had her phylactery on you?
um, ages now, a couple of months.
Zalera's just like, since we recovered it.
So roughly about 2-3 months.
He cursed the phylactery, and the curse transferred to you due to your close ties to Zalara.
Close ties and draconic nature.
Yeah.
So it's an infectious
mean-
curse with proximity and time.
Though hilariously, it does seem to have resulted in you being tied to the phylactery as well.
Excuse me?
I'm going to go and
Yeah?
say, huh? So, what?
Are you saying I'm bound to Zalara's phylactery as well?
Correct.
What happens if we remove the curse?
She wouldn't be bound to it anymore.
Okay.
So, because the curse is split between them, do you think it's still effective, or the effect of the curse is muted due to its splitting?
It's possible. I'm not entirely sure. This isn't something that's, we'll say, precedented.
I'd assume it depends on the nature of the curse. If it was meant to propagate, then probably not. If it wasn't,
But,
then.
The
Hmm.
two of them are intrinsically linked.
So, say I fall to the blade. How does that affect Zalara?
Oh, she'd be fine. You would go back to her phylactery and eventually reconstitute in your current form. Granted, all of your stuff would be, where you
Lost.
died.
Okay.
Ah.
So that's an interesting thought. Reconstituting. What have happened the other way around? Same thing?
More or less.
Okay. Well, as long as it stays safe, we should be fine then. At least in terms of physicality and remaining on the planet. Um,
Well,
is there anything else that this supposed curse does to us?
Well, it's not necessarily part of the curse, mind you, but I am reminded that it seems something similar to Dragon Knights that I once trained at one point.
Dragon Knights?
Knowing Vardine, they've probably been hunted to near extinction or hiding. But, people who fought alongside dragons, specially trained, and through a special ritual, would usually bind themselves to the dragons, or vice versa. And they were capable of more or less merging with them. The cost being the two have their souls irrevocably intertwined.
We did find that soul from that dragon knight and rider that we freed so long ago.
And Zolaira just says, that was my rider.
Yeah. So
I'm the
Zin
one
kind
that
of
freed them.
Zin kind
Okay.
of moves a bit closer, just like, kind of studying Zolaira. You do still have that. Well, your soul is your own. Whatever Crimson Flame, Crimson Blade, whatever, does seem to have separated your souls, so perhaps it's not as irrevocably intertwined as I once thought.
sorry for bringing up bad memories, Zalara. I'm sure you miss them.
Zolaira just kind of shakes her head, just like, it's fine. It's been a long time.
Hey, it never feels good to lose any friends, so.
And he kind of just takes a step back, just like, but, yes. Good to know that, I also have another target I need to hunt down. In addition to this, Crimson Blade.
I'll look at Zin and say, do you think I shouldn't bring them to meet her? She would probably have more insight on this curse to see if it's something that can be let sitting or if it should be unraveled.
Just to let anybody know, by the way, before you continue on with the scene, if you even look at Rain, you can see almost white hot rage burning in her eyes. She's white knuckling the holster of her gun right now.
I will gently just like have a hand on her shoulder.
No, she slaps your hand away. You're the last person she wants you to wants to touch her right now.
Zin kind of just like takes a step back and just like, well, on the bright side, given the nature of how this curse has functioned, I'm sure with a bit of effort, you two could actually accomplish the same thing as Dragon Knights and merge.
Is there some benefit?
Draconic resilience, bit more power. This, that, and the other. I don't know. I was never, well, we'll say eligible for that.
I don't think anybody could tame your power. For a lot of reasons, Sin.
Eh, but, Nelithral is a definitive reason why I haven't chased godhood any at all. I'm perfectly fine where I am.
Perfectly longevitied, so to speak. I have a
Sorry.
lot to process.
Hey, but just remember,
before-
you're not alone.
Yeah.
If this
I-
if this jerk does make a showing at any point, we'll kick him into the dirt with you.
Oh, he's definitely made a shit list.
Yeah.
But Zin,
Yes.
what kind of effort would we need to put into to obtain this? Or Zalara, can you tell me more about this later?
Zlair kind of looks at just like, I can probably tell you a bit later.
All right.
As in just
For
kind of looks
now.
just like, I mean, like I said, while I did train the Dragon Knights, I was never the one that did any of the rituals for soul combining or
Well,
the merging or anything like that.
it's less on the combining. It'd be more of the training that I would want to seek as well. if that's the case. But that can happen at a different time.
Ooh, oh,
Right now, I need to go sit down, preferably alone.
hey,
Yes,
Master
Pepper?
Zin, though, is there a way to break the curse? Like, 'cause you said that he's done this before to young dragons. Does that mean you've uncursed other dragons who have been affected by it?
Me personally, no.
Hmm.
One final question before I leave. These wings. How do I make them not so see-through?
Well,
Or,
I'll be honest,
well,
it's a little unprecedented for the possibility of getting your wings. But, I'm not sure. Most of the half
okay.
dragons that I knew had their wings in already, or didn't have wings in the first place. So,
So I have to
not
earn
sure.
my wings somehow.
There
Okay.
also weren't really any half dragon knights to my knowledge either.
Well, lots of
So,
firsts today, it seems.
yes.
Well, maybe the idea of the curse is that's
Maybe
preventing that
some.
growth?
Maybe.
Hmm.
Say, how. You said that we would need to consume a dragon's heart in order to be. For her to grow. Yes?
Correct.
Okay. Is it is it the heart, or is it like the heart of power, like
No, quite literally eat their heart.
Yeah, it's
the flesh?
cannibalism,
Okay,
yeah.
kill them. Okay, got you.
As I said, engage in cannibalism. Eat the heart of another dragon.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if we can figure something out. Okay, I'll be off. I'll see you guys here in a bit. I'm gonna go think.
If you need
Uh,
someone to spar with for the time being, you know where I am.
uh
I'm pretty
I'll
sturdy.
call
You
on
can
you.
take out some
I'll
aggression.
Zin
I'll
kind of
call
looks
on you.
back over. Zin kind of looks back over the air and just like looks towards the the ship that he returned the volley to. Just like, I'm sure there's a few test dummies over there if you'd like to take some anger at.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. Give me
Want me
one
to?
moment. I really need to use the bathroom.
Okie
Okay.
dokie.
So
Burb.
I did go ahead and post the questions in, but in the motion of the conversation, I think it got overlooked.
Hmm.
I said, "Do you think I should take them to see her? Maybe she'd be able to help them unravel the curse."
Perhaps. She was more skilled with that than, well, my complete lack of skill at doing anything about the curses.
Oh, she took part of taking him down, so
She was also closer to the now unfortunately deceased dragon who was the best at removing the curses. Though where he went, well, doesn't matter now. He was hunted and killed by Varadine.
If it was killed by Varadine, they most likely took trophies.
I
That means there's a chance he could be brought back.
you know what?
You're
I
suggesting true resurrection.
I did not even consider that.
If we can hunt, well, if it's a really powerful dragon like yourself, Master Zin, then, uh, well,
It's
probably it'd be among the
Depends on
top brass who would have any pieces of him as a collectible. And she kind of just like grimaces at the idea of that.
does ultimately depend on when they killed him. If it has been within the last 2 centuries, then I suppose it is possible.
And they'll likely have taken many hordes from many dragons, so they likely have a vault full of wealth to fuel the spell too.
More than
And-
likely.
Yeah,
You'll
and who
just have to
knows?
find someone who can use that spell.
Yeah.
And if worse comes to worst, well, maybe we can make some deals with outsiders in order to get a wish or something to bring them back.
Hmm. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's fickle wind thoughts,
Yeah.
but it's
You'd likely
a
have
final
better
avenue.
odds. I was gonna say you'd likely have better odds running into a moon dragon.
Yeah.
At least,
It kind of
like
looks just
that.
like I'm being serious about that. By the
Yeah.
way,
Mm,
I think I've seen one lunar dragon here.
well,
This was millennia ago, but
have you checked inside the Feywild?
moonstone dragons, they're a different breed.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're meaning the other dragon type. Sorry.
I'm
The
meaning
lunar
dragons
ones?
that literally hatch and grow in the moons in the astral sea.
Yeah.
well, our adventure just got bigger. We'll figure it out.
It never gets smaller. I will put that out there for you, Pepper. We always have bigger fish to fry. We have to go ahead and take care of the Crimson Blade. We have to go ahead and deal with Varadine. Now we have to deal with what's likely a Draco Lich.
And we'll smash them all.
If only there were a way to just get all of the people that we don't care to show up at one place and kill each other. That would, well, I mean, if if he isn't working with either the Crimson Blade or Varadine, I think if we found out where he was digging up and we leaked that to Varadine, they would instantly go and swarm that location. And if we leaked to the Crimson Blade that there was a uh, a dragon that had achieved immortality to them, they would also attack. They would attack for different reasons.
Oh, I'm sure if you could get Barodine to point it at them, that'd be a very entertaining slaughter one way or the other.
Yeah, but if they were both going after the same Draco Lich, one going because it's a Draco Lich and it's a dragon,
Well, we have
therefore
no idea if it's actually alive or not yet. If it is. But the fact that the curses linger and remain means perhaps something is happening. Jesus shrugs
you
without
don't
seeing